painted with gold. And then of course, corners of this gem, same way of course the dome, covered with Indian white marble. The tank of course is for ablutions. But in the three places for Muslims in this world where they go on Hajj: Mecca, Medina and Jerusalem. But many of course Indian Muslims, they visit this mosque because of the relics. They have the opportunity to see of course the relics of Prophet Muhammad and his immediate family. Meet people from your community. Otherwise, if everybody of course stays at home and offers personal wear, double shed door. So it was an engineering of course marble. Yes. It's an upright, straight wall behind it. There's nothing that you have to go ahead and allow now. Now it's time to get up. Right. Sugarcane juice, you see the turning wheel, green wheel, that's for sugarcane juice.
Thank you.
But this is of course part of their spiritual religious duty to provide of course free service in some form or the other. Not the religion, but so that water from that sacred tank. There is an
Andra dia mana ki chia. Dapat terang andra.
They got a pandem photo editing.
Awa.
And when people they visit the shrine dedicated to the Hindu mother goddess Kali, They carry these items, coconut, puffed rice, garland and scarf, and they offer it to the priest attending to the image of Mother Goddess Kali. And also, for the cremation, the ground behind, people of course, they buy garlands and they offer it on the body. They buy incense sticks, buy sandalwood, powder. They buy clarified butter, ghee or oil. So all these things are used for the cremation rituals also. They all believe that one thing of course is guaranteed in life, that you will visit of course the cremation ground. Every of course Hindu in this world will one day come to this place.
We will.
Mother Goddess temple on the right hand side, and these are all stalls selling religious items. These are not slums. These shrines are dedicated to different manifestations of Almighty, and these manifestations are sometimes called avatars. Have you heard the word avatar? Have you seen the movie Avatar? So it's actually an Indian spiritual term. We have 33 million. So our nation is much richer.
They do the best they can by their shareholders. They have to work to.
Superb, yeah. With the mustache. Oh, yes. 4 or 5 ladies which are all with.
Balcony on the right hand side. Sometimes lift up all these
Krishna temple, Shiva temple, Krishna temple, and this is like Shiva. You know, so this is all over.
अरावली पर्वत उदयपुर सिटी वाइट बड़ा अंदर वाला बड़ा दरवाजो दिखाओ ना खाली पहली बाजू में
awake from that thing.
With murals depicting popular avatars, gods, goddesses, angels. Which one? This is the Lake Palace, the Summer Palace.
Right. You're pretty quiet and calm. Yeah.
Go down and have a look.
Pilgrims, these are pilgrims, the bus. So they're taking a bath on the ghats below on the left, doing the laundry. Sometimes you see only the roof of a small shrine.
One of the very alcohol, so
See the outside, even the ceiling inside is carved heavily. Philosophers, poets, warrior, kings, soldiers, female entity. Yes. The walls they show different avatars of Vishnu, female of course, mother goddesses, other of course mythical beings, griffins. Half wild boar, half man. This is one of the avatars of Vishnu. And then one of his popular other avatars is half man, half lion. And then one of his avatars is a turtle. And then his earliest popular avatar is a fish. First of course avatar fish, then turtle, then of course that wild boar, then of course lion, and then of course Rama and Krishna. You just offer your personal of course prayers, recharge yourself, and then you leave, you go. A state of emptiness, no thoughts. It is easier said than done. When you of course close your eyes, even for 10 minutes, and if we of course are, ask ourselves, can I sit of course here or anywhere for 10 minutes without of course any thoughts? The Shiva Lingam, like phallic, kind of shape. Because this shape, it represents, energy. sea creatures, which probably have disappeared. This is to scare the non-believers and to reassure the believers. Sometimes you find even the truckers, they hang face like this from the front or the back, or cars also. They're trying to convey that this is not, of course, a good practice. Represents the union of the male and the female energy. Even the young girls, the attendants who are, just holding a musical instruments or holding, of course, a fly whisk, they are wearing, of course, these skirts and these trousers, and even the folds, are captured in the stone carving. On the left hand side. Water mechanism of lifting water from a shallow spring well. We'll take pictures from outside.
Don't forget you on there. Yeah, absolutely. Well, they're very, very rare. See, he's put some new buckets on there. So yeah, just off the road.
He must be a very popular guy.
This Ranakpur because it is amongst the 5 most important Jain temple shrines, pilgrimage centers in the country.
Increase the volume.
Only once.
Different seasons, different occasions also you wear different colored turbans. Style remains the same, but the color of course changes with season and depends on occasion. In summer you will wear lighter colors, in winter you wear darker colors. When you are attending a family of course function, wedding, you wear printed of course turbans with multiple colors or different of course multiple shades, different patterns printed. But when you are attending a funeral, then you wear of course pale colors. So it depends on the occasion, the season, and also the region and your caste. Shepherds of Marwar in this part of Rajasthan would wear this red colored turban. The shepherds from Udaipur would wear different color and different style turban. The shepherds of Jaipur would wear different style and different color turban. So you could also tell whether the shepherd was from Marwar, Jodhpur or from Udaipur. So there are hundreds of different styles of turban. Nomads you see on the right hand side. Nomads. The entire city of Jodhpur was protected by a perimeter high stone wall with the scars of several battles, cannon, ball marks, city gates. That's on the right hand side. So this is the old town, narrow streets, castles. And a high water wheel On the top, on the right, yes.
Up there, all right.
For lifting water. But it depicts, these murals, they depict the popular manifestations, forms. Mother goddess, male gods, goddesses.
Just go back a couple of feet. Oh dear. Hold on. I got...
Indian style pajama trousers, wearing a ceremonial turban and holding. Others who are ahead of us were actually in the museum shop. You know. So I'll just.
Bye-bye. Oh, we've arrived, have we?
Of course, the father also, grandfather, of course, if alive, you know, they all, of course, you know, they join hands. Ladies, of course, they do that light work sometimes, you know, beating, of course, the clay. Otherwise, you know, if they have, you know, and you just live this feel, I just need help.
Very easy.
Perfect.
Yeah, easy for you. It's like the power of will. Isn't it? Just a centrifugal force like that.
That is how they have created, you know, all these items, these pots, especially now for the coming summer.
Oh, that is the metal is.
Is that the boss behind? The lady here, she the boss.
Wonder how about if it smells when they burn it.
Access every of
I know it has to be cheap, but not that cheap.
500. 1 liter of petrol is
That's about half the size of our roof.
yes, you can say.
But they produce their own seed all the time.
Yeah, they produce their own seed. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's the advantage.
They produce their own seed. So they can have it tomorrow, day after. Very high carbohydrate. Other things, of course, they grow here: pulses, millet, oil seeds, desert, of course, legumes, beans, desert beans.
Desert?
Yes, yes, here. Dehydrated, but they are dehydrated because if you don't dehydrate, then you will get fungus. Yes, without rotting. Yes. So these are all different kind of grains, pulses. They are for vegetarian, so they don't eat meat. Turn it, they twist it like that. They sit together and they tie this. You know, there's opium which is mixed with molasses. But whenever, of course, there is death in the family, or there is a marriage in the family, or of course a child, of course, born in the family, a new member, of course, arriving in the family, they celebrate that. Of course, death is not celebrated. They mourn, of course, the death. But whenever they have, of course, these kind of gatherings in the family, they serve opium and they drink, of course, opium. This is fights stomach bug.
Now it's smiling.
अब एकदम दागन कर रहे हैं थारा बल्ला है नहीं जावे
Yes, we'll show you also, how they tie, of course, the turban and the length of the turban, which is almost, 9 meters long and roughly 1 meter, of course, wide. Look at the length.
Wow. Whole lot goes on the head.
It always takes 2 men to tie a turban.
Yes, men they tie the turban, yes. It's like a badge, for them.
Yeah.
And that will tell, of course, that he is from a particular caste and from a particular, of course, region. It protects you from, the sun also, dust,
Will do.
sand. mostly comprises of short trees, shrubs, short desert grass, sand dunes, Indian desert, which we share with Pakistan also. It covers an area of almost 40,000 square miles. They carry joint military exercises for desert warfare, and they also test military hardware with air support from the Indian Air Force from the nearby base, and joint exercise. There is a very famous Indian director. His name is Satyajit Ray from Bengal. When he first saw this fortress town of this 12th century fort or the fortress town, he made a film. He was so impressed by the golden color. It was about an ancient treasure guarded by a peacock, and it was titled The Golden Fort. When people, of course, they saw his movie Golden Fort, they came to know about Jaisalmer through his movie Golden Fort on the right hand side, the 12th century. This fort also has many tales of heroic deeds, of heroes, of ladies who performed johar to preserve their personal honor. You see, there are two walls, lower wall and the inner, of course, higher wall. This fortress town on that triangular hill, founded by Jaisal, the descendant of Krishna. Typical desert architecture on the right. These are mostly houses of the nomadic tribes, semi-nomads also, temporary houses with the stone, and they plaster it with mud and cow dung mixed with clay. So on the right hand side, this is our hotel, Suryagad, like a mini fortress inspired by the architecture of Jaisalmer Fort and the Havelis inside the fort. You see the brass, the crest on the right hand side for Suryagad, the two horses, with the blazing sun, in the middle.
Namaste.
Yes, he writes. He never stopped.
ढोलक. Dholak is a hollow drum taping at both ends which are covered with an animal skin. The sarangi. Sarangi is a both short-necked string instrument. And the cymbals. All start together.
बाइक कहाँ है अभी? तो चाबी मेरे पास नहीं।
No, thank you.
Not going to come up now.
Religiosa, sacred fig. This has the longest lifespan.
This is dying. It's leprosy natal.
Are these owned by particular families?
Yes, these are all
These all
commissioned, but you don't have ownership.
Nobody can.
Anybody can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody, of course, can. We have
Yeah.
Ajmer called Pushkar,
Right.
and you put the ashes, there.
Yes.
It's a nice welcome. Very good place.
Haveli.
Haveli, yes, the Indian courtyard house. 5 for his 5 sons, built in early 1800s. Inside, decorated with mirror mosaic work, murals, frescoes, gold leaf. So these are string puppets made from the wood of that giant milkweed and then painted, hand painted. The alley, at the end of the alley. So once you close, of course, this almost kind of secures the entire, of course, street for all the families living, able to pick up the difference between the left and the right, of course, the facade. Tiny, of course, figures, and you will see a steam locomotive along with other animals. And left, right. Next.
Please sit still.
Brought this disposable the glasses.
Yeah.
So we'll serve you a small portion of the rum, and then I'll.
Very old vatted.
Very old vatted.
What's
Jaipur,
has it got the proof on
Rajasthan.
it?
Something there, 75 million.
So 75%.
25 is something percent proof.
My goodness.
I can't see the first letter. It's something 5 proof.
5%.
Quite.
It isn't me.
Oh no, you're all right. Are you glad you've done it? Oh, yeah. It was so good.
5 kilometers to the feeding grounds of these wonderful domicile, graceful cranes. And of course, drive on this same highway for our lunch after the visit. He was such a hard taskmaster that he even, of course, selected the wallpaper, for the guest rooms personally. And all, of course, rich interiors, art, everything mostly he used to buy from England and from Europe. So you'll find some, of course, displayed here in this hunting lodge. You see the cranes, domicile.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Followed it.
In Bikaner and spent, of course, months traveling to, this vast kingdom. As I said, twice the size of United Kingdom. In fact, the Viceroy, one of the constructed schools, sponsored, of course, universities, he came true. Few years later. Was called the Mardana Kings, where the king used to conduct meetings, conferences, to deal with other, of course, official matters of the state. So these were, of course, lampposts also.
So it was going in there.
In Turkey or, of course, in other parts, they received, of course, a personal letter of appreciation from the English royal family. This is the painting depicting the locomotive train, the passengers. The first locomotive, of course, passenger train was introduced by the East India Company in 1853 from Bombay to Thane, a town 16 miles north of Bombay. This is pure silver. But look at the paintings, the frieze above, just below the ceiling. Here, you see, and there, flower vases, with tiny miniature figures. And same is the case with these, of course, flower vases. Look at architectural features. So, tiny, of course, detail. And that is the sun god. Tied to his own bed and then, of course, murdered. And that is why after that, they used to sleep on short and shallow beds so that their, of course, legs would extend beyond the edge of the bed. So, even if you're tied to your bed, you can stand, on your feet.
Turban in bed.
He was wearing, he used to wear turbans. So with his own turban, lying of course there, they tied him first, to his bed.
Take your turban off when you go to bed.
Yes, you do. That is why they took that turban, which was lying of course next to the bed. So all apartments had these wonderful, this colored, you see, the glass figures also. That's European. Sorry. And these are scenes from Hindu epic, Ramayana and Mahabharata, telling the story of Krishna and Rama, different episodes, events, popular events. And then of course these places, they used to put lamps, inside with the lights. Oil lamps, place them inside. Mirrors all around, frescoes. Here you see the avatars of Vishnu. And that is Hanuman, the monkey-faced god. And this is, of course, the popular avatar of Vishnu, half man, half white boar. White boar, you see the head? White boar. That is half man, half lion avatar, called Narasimha, the avatar of Vishnu, killing, of course, a demon. Yes. No, these are not tiles, they are hand-painted.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
Can you imagine?
These are all hand-painted. Marble swords.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought this was modern concrete.
No, it's plaster. Of course, this very fine and very fine coat will go black.
So is the Indian government training people for restoration work?
That is under the Archaeological Survey of India, but this is not owned by the government. This is owned by the private, of course, the family, the royal family, and that is why all this money, most of this money for the entrance goes into the restoration. By employing, of course, the descendants of the artists, who ancestors, of course, they painted and decorated these apartments. And then, of course, they used to paint the clay. So when you touch and when you feel, you can feel that it is raised. It's not flat paint. And these are, look at the size and the weight of this. One hand. Yeah, we're pretty strong, yes. So that of course tells you, how strong it was 300, 200 years ago. Right? Then you get a good picture from outside. You get a better picture.
इस टंकी के अंदर एक मैकेनिज्म मशीन लगी हुई थी। मैकेनिज्म मशीन क्या करती थी कि भरा हुआ पानी टंकी में ऐसे पानी फुहारे के तौर पर निकल कर इसका ड्रेनेज है यहाँ से बाहर निकल जाता है। ये रेगुलेटर वीणा सितार और सबसे बड़ी बात है पुराने
and the photographs, real photographs of the people who used to stand and dance on these blades. Another wonderful painted room.
Are angels part of Indian?
Yes.
They are.
Yes. Angels and all, heavenly creatures. Elephants, of course, with the attendants, mahout sitting on the neck. So many apartments, smaller apartments for their attendants, personal attendants in these chambers. Just reason of why cows are sacred for Hindus. Because of the association of cows with Krishna, one of the most popular avatars of Vishnu. Again, if you see with the blue skin, which represents depth of character. And they would put an incense cone or an incense stick and then sing, of course, devotional songs, clapping. Music, dance, celebrations in the courtyard, below. Wonderful view for the ladies, without, of course, showing themselves to the ordinary. Banquet hall. 5th century. Stone. This stone. Wood. This.
say it.
These are all, the handles are all ivory, the white ones. But after 24 hours, we move these garlands from the tree, from especially the sacred fig tree. So you see the whole garland, these marigolds, garlands hanging from the branches. Courtyards, inside enclosed courtyards, multiple floors, apartments, carved wooden doors, painted ceilings, tiles. Moisturizers, nowadays, aloe vera. It's a red carrot pudding. Yes, with condensed milk, and then stuffed with other garlic, ginger, and of course cumin, other herb tea. Masala. Late 15th, Jain temple, sponsored by a Jain merchant, finished by his daughter. Demonic kind of a sea monster, which you find at the entrance, at the threshold of all, of course, Hindu temples. This is to scare the non-believers, with his face, and to reassure the believers. So, in English, we call it the face of glory. Because Jain have a different way of life, maybe different way of life, which is of course an independent religion. And desperately to organize it itself as a religion, it's not a religion, it's more of a way of life. Left to right, sir. It's evolving. As I said, you can create, of course, your own God. Today, if I want to create, of course, another God, no stop me, because that is of course the system, belief system, that every cannot touch, feel, smell, taste and see. They say, what is this concept? You know, something that you cannot see, or is God? I mean, I don't see. So
they cut the young branches and they collect the pods from this tree, which is dried in the sun and then stored in jars, and then you eat it as a vegetable. The shepherd invariably carries a long wooden stick with a sickle, and then he slices or cuts these young branches and they fall on the ground, and then the goat and the sheep, they eat the leaves. So pods for humans, for leaves for the animals.
And scenes from the epic Mahabharata and Ramayana also painted on the flower vase and on the body.
Lime. It's not marble, it's lime mixed with marble dust and shell powder with fenugreek, molasses, egg white. Wind towers to catch the wind and also view the landscape.
That is the 18th century military garrison fort and also the gun foundry. By individual artists from different families, and then of course the edges decorated with stucco line plaster work on the edges.
For the, bureaucrats. Glass for lot of mirror work we are seeing every day. So 3 patterns of work, glass for lot of mirror work we are seeing every day. More better. One by bedrooms are there.
Of course, first courtyard with the pillared hall for public order. So the entire afternoon, those 3-4 hours, till 6 or 7 in the evening, they would retire there and take refuge from the extreme intense heat. And then Kamana was the king himself. Even of course the sons after the age of 14, they had to leave of course the Zanana. Till 14 they were raised here, they were instructed here, they were attended by their female governesses, they had vet nurses, they had midwives, also living here. But after the age of 14 they had to leave.
So this is the old town, always busy, buzzing with activity, sound, smell. So we are going to the city palace. We will visit the Royal Observatory with giant instruments to calculate position of stars, heavenly bodies, predict solar lunar eclipses, weather forecasts, all these things. The observatory, which is in the same complex. But we are going to visit this after lunch. We are going to the Palace Cafe, the cafe in the City Palace for lunch, and post lunch we visit these 2 places, the palace itself and the Royal Observatory. In between you find temple shrines, public buildings, all painted with a uniform color code after 1876 for Prince Albert Edward, and that is why after 1876 it was called the Pink City, Jaipur, the Pink City. So City Palace is on the right hand side, in the heart of this city, laid on the grid pattern, occupying 1/7 almost of the total area of old Jaipur. On the right hand side, this is one of the entrance gateways to the City Palace complex. So apartments had wooden doors, carved doors, painted doors, inlaid doors and brass doors. Upstairs on the terrace they used to see the events, or sitting of course in these balconies of these houses.
With the birds.
Yeah, peacocks.
each door is painted different. Each door is different, brass door. That's the palace, private portion of the palace. It's just that we came to the restaurant.
Come on up. Indian army? No?
All these, of course, princely armies were merged with the Indian, army regulars. They were merged. Like a blazing sun.
Yeah.
Set like a blazing sun, the medieval and the modern together. Guns and arrows. And the bigger one, which is 10 times bigger, it calculates, of course, the local time of Jaipur to every 2 seconds. Behind you is south, and behind me is north. So these are the 4 cardinal, direction: north, east, west, south. Right? Yeah. But otherwise, it's 3:14. Now it's 3:15 almost.
Yes.
Down there. And these are the zodiacs. They meet each other. So behind you also that is 45 degrees. Right? Then it is 50 degrees there.
I'm not going to find out, are you?
A few years ago, I might have done.
The milkman's colony. Every morning, cup of tea in India is cooked with milk. So milk is sold every day, like this. these bunks for the complete set, 2 English pounds.
I think it does. Yeah, it does.
Never mind your star sign, it's all in.
Don't have to explain. No.
Must be something in the stars. None of them were European.
And shortly you'll see one of the multiple gates that were built for Fatehpur Sikri for visitors. This gate is called Agra Gate because it faces the city of Agra, made from the local quarried red Indian sandstone. Buildings which were looted when it was abandoned, public buildings which once stood here on the right hand side, market streets, squares, granaries, stables. After it was abandoned, it was protected by the saints.
People from most other religions, they follow the lunar calendar. Muslims, they follow the lunar calendar. Hindus, they also follow their
Like these walls, apartments, with torches also, but mostly lamps. Here.
Also on the other side, you have this slender, of course, brackets.
Sometimes, of course, recommend head shade with a raised trunk, depicting animals and birds, that we are a family who believes in harmony and religious tolerance.
Pagoda style architecture, Panch Mahal. Other buildings are inspired by Jain and Hindu, of course, styles, and some Muslim elements in it. So it's like a mix of different styles from different religions.
That was a stage for musicians. Stage. Inside you have nice carvings, ceiling.
Used to stand there and then make a mental note and then go out to the studios and paint of course this, and then of course it was and for the construction of Taj Mahal, but they had not finalized any sketch or plan for Taj. The body was again put in that gold coffin in a temporary grave months after the death of Empress Mumtaz Mahal. He came back to Agra and invited plans and sketches for this grand garden memorial to Empress Mumtaz Mahal.
There's a gateway on the other side also, so people are entering from that side. Shortly they'll open this gate with Arabic writing, verses from Quran inlaid in white marble, and the colored heartstone also inlaid in white marble, floral patterns, those are all. Right hand side is the assembly hall. They complement each other, and they also preserve the balance and symmetry because they are almost identical. These two structures on both sides. The mosque on the left hand side, the assembly hall on the right hand side. So several other places where from here you can take nice pictures. Kind of frames Taj Mahal, this arched, tall, high opening.
Looking up the reflections there.
Inside, as we enter, you will see a staircase protected by a screen going to the crypt. And that is where you have the original priest, of course, many years later in 1666 at the age of 70. This is the only flaw in Taj Mahal, this portion, where you don't have those clearly defined lines and edges. The balcony, you have the flower buds hanging.
They are selling, the most popular sweet made in Agra from pumpkin. White pumpkin signs, red colored signs, selling pumpkin. Mosaic, red sandstone like you see on the left hand side. That is Baby Taj's entrance gateway. So we get down here and we visit Itmadu Daula or Baby Taj.
This was a surprise, actually, because personally, I've never seen people.
Yes, someday. Yeah, but it must be, for the guest house. Just outside. And the wonderful lattice, the screens, you see. Windows with those screens.
Mais on ne sait pas, ce sont les tombeaux de Dieu. Mais c'est vrai, ce sont les
Very captured.
Yes. And these cypress, the trees, you see, which you see in the garden. Inside those are mostly painted. Outside is inlaid. Lower portion is inlaid.
But this mosque only serves the needs of the people living in the palace, not in the city. 3,000 people living, in the palace. So these were all the individual suites that were assigned to the queens.
Which is good luck.
Well, then, sure. Probably waiting for a job.
Pardon?